So, welcome back to another episode of the Ism. This is a docu-series about life, everything that you can think of that's a part of this life experience that we're having. Can I get you to say your name and your place of origin?
My name is Deanna, and I was born and raised in Atlanta. For all you Grady babies, I'm a Crawford Loan baby out here. If you know what it is now, it's now Emory.
All right, so we're representing Atlanta through and through. All parties involved are representatives of Atlanta. So, just throw that out there. So, first question that I have for you: how would you describe life, and what would you call this experience that you're having? Like, how would you describe what's going on here right now?
Um, I don't really have an experience or a description for life right now. I'm kind of just living in it. I'm experiencing a ton of things, I think. I've experienced depression, joy, rage, desire, and I've been fortunate enough to go through all of those emotions, and just disappointment, disgust, and just I don't know. It's just been life, and I have been learning how to take it one day at a time, even though that's hard. I can move a little fast sometimes, and so right now, I guess I could say this part of my life is the art of slowing the fuck down.
That's a good description to capture what you're feeling right now. So, you answered my question.
For sure.
So, like, what has being here, like on Earth, taught you about this experience that we're having? Like, what is life shown you about life?
Life is still showing me. I don't know. I think so far up to this point of my 25 years of life, going on 26, is that the shit is difficult, especially being black. Like, that is just, I think I speak for everybody black, when sometimes it be real hard to say I'm gonna have a fulfilling life, because you think about all the ways that all of the isms, capitalism, racism, like, affect you solely because of an identification. It can be hard to say my life is going to be XYZ, because at every turn you just kind of end up being like, wow, y'all don't give a fuck. You just can't. And it's even wilder that somebody who looks like you don't give a fuck either.
Would you say that's something that life has shown you, that like people don't give a fuck?
Oh, absolutely. I had a physics teacher who told us your life is easy when you realize people don't give a fuck.
That's in the space of being some enlightening information for the people that use it.
I mean, to a degree, but then people actually do. The crazy thing about that is that people with no other time on their hands actually do give a fuck and are committed to giving a fuck so much that they wrap themselves in the trajectory of your life and become so engulfed in what you have going on that they hate you, literally resent you. The idea of a hater. Not saying I have any, but I'm just saying, like, that's probably how a hater is created. You wrap yourself in my little old life. I got shit going on.
So would you say like giving a fuck can sometimes lead to transforming into a hater?
Maybe. And not in the sense of like, it's like you don't give a fuck enough about yourself to worry about your life that or whatever is happening in your life, or whatever trauma or whatever thing you don't want to give energy to. You're using that energy to berate another person's what they find joyful to them, because you don't have that.
It's never good to contribute something that takes away the joy from another person.
Yeah.
I think that's what that was. That's what hating is like.
Yeah. It's and this is not just be like arrogant, because I don't think I have any haters. I truly don't. Because it's like, why? It's me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just be chilling. I don't be doing shit. I don't got nothing going on, man. Like, it's really copacetic over here.
There's no reason for you to have. You don't live in a way that you would have haters.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't out here flashing no money, moolah. And even if I was rich, niggas would not know.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know.
Never good to let people know that. I don't think.
Oh, just simply because, like,
keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
Save a lot of trouble.
But you know, to revert back to your question as far as what I've learned, like, we all just out here living in life, and you can make your life considerably much harder by not dealing with what you need to deal with. You can literally, you can just make shit much harder when you don't deal with what needs to be dealt with. You can make it harder, because whatever you still haven't really, cut ties with will always make a reappearance. It's just a string that you string along that if you don't deal with it or cut it, it will literally haunt you.
No matter how long the string is, it's still attached.
Yep.
And you gotta cut it, because eventually it's gonna retrograde around and freaking sock you across the
face,
the noggin. It's a good point, I think, to look at life, approach life in that awareness, in that space of like, life will give you what you deserve, I guess, in a sense, if you don't do what you need to do in order to get what you want to have.
Yep.
You gotta make the change.
You gotta make the sacrifice.
That's a big revelation there.
So I've been making sacrifices. It's been tough, but I've been making them. And it hurts, but I've been making them.
So, what is something that you could say would have saved you a lot of trouble had you known it earlier in your life? If you have anything, or do you have anything, I'm asking, that you can say, this would have saved me a lot of trouble had I just known this earlier on?
Sometimes you don't know until you know, and other times,
that's a good answer.
Yeah, sometimes that's just straight up. Sometimes you don't know until you know, but other times everything is there, and you have to be strong enough to, again, make the sacrifices. I don't think that women are just intuitive creatures solely. I think humans are intuitive creatures, like all of us. I think men, however, are blocked in that intuition because they are not living in their true selves. There is, especially with black men, that hyper masculinity. You know, if you really sensitive and soft, of course you can't. You've been disconnected from yourself for so long. Of course you can't hear what's the information given to you by whatever other source is out there for this purpose. Will say God. Of course you can't listen to God. You don't
even know what it feels like.
You don't even know what it. Yeah, you don't even know what it feels like.
When it's there, when it's good.
You don't even know what it feels. You don't even know what it feels like to have an inseparable amount of energy just flowing through you all the time that you can feel because you are with you. So how can you listen to God? You know, your body be so tense, you be so angry, you be so frustrated. And I realized that all of that anger and intensity was starting to dissipate when I was just able to hear again. I was able to look at a person and say, I don't know how I know this information, but I think XYZ. To which everybody looking like, how'd you know that? I don't know. I just paying attention, just watching, just taking in the information, which all this information is giving to me. Body language, the tone, what you're saying, how you're saying it, you know, everything. And I'm just able to make that.
You can hear it, so you can say something about it.
Yeah, just like I think other people can say the same about me. I'm not like a great human being. I be lying. I be withholding information because I don't think you should know. But I'm pretty sure if you're paying attention and you listening, I'm probably 9 times out of 10 telling on myself I talk a lot. So if you missing any information, you ain't paying attention.
Yeah, I feel that. So do you have any like rules you live by? Like, you know, like rules?
I think my rules change. Just honest. Just out of honest, like out of like an honest answer, I really do think that my rules change.
Oh, I feel that. That's why I'm laughing. It's just
like I don't think
I don't have any.
Sometimes I know stuff is just wrong, and I'm like, I ain't gonna do that for moral reasons. But if I wasn't a morally like good person, I'd be doing this thing that is very questionable.
Yeah, I have things that I would like to say. I have rules.
I don't know. I can't
honestly say that.
I can't honestly say that.
Every time this happens, I do this. Like, I don't know if I have that. So that's really funny.
I don't know, because I'm like, to be honest, I don't know what the fuck you gonna get sometimes with me. Like, I'm like,
yeah. My rules is that it depends.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it boils down to. So what part of like being alive has affected you, influenced you, inspired you the most? Like what part of being here and being alive and present has moved you the most?
I don't know, because I just got here. I know I've been like living and breathing for 25, 26 years, but I just got here. Like I just got to this moment of life is precious, and this is my one and only life, so I have to do what I have to do to maintain a sense of normalcy in it, regardless of what's being thrown. I feel like I've been living for the approval or validation of society and others for such a long time that I just got here. I just kind of figured out. I'm still figuring out like the answers to that question. Because I don't know yet. One of the things I do know that I realized that has always been there is my love for music. I didn't realize my love for music was that big until literally last night, not less than 24 hours ago.
Wow.
I didn't realize that.
You just got here.
Just got here.
That's cool.
I've been sharing my favorite songs on Instagram for how long? Like a year and some change now. Making playlists for like a year and some change now. And didn't really think too much about it. But I'm like, oh no, this thing creates this feeling inside of me, this passion, this raw desire, this joy. This happens when I am listening to music, when I have this idea for a mix or something. And now I just have to do something with that.
This is going to be really cool to look back on, to see like
the
documentation, a document of, you know, the moment
that
following that huge
realization.
Yeah, to see how your life came together to that point. Yes. I think this is tight. So, what is the hardest thing you've overcome in your life?
Life?
Oh God, that's a good answer.
Like what? I was gonna answer and say my heartbreak or heartache, but honestly, that encompasses so much more. I feel like this past breakup made me pay attention to even just other painful sectors of my life. Like, all of it has been hard. I didn't realize how disadvantaged I was and how good of a job my mom actually did to create like this illusion that I wasn't as dysfunctional as I thought. But then I was recently gonna move, you know, in with the family member, and then I realized something. I'm one generation removed from drug addiction. I'm one generation removed from a wrecked home, a wrecked family where everybody was on drugs. On my both parents' side, like nobody did not have that experience where they were not. I had to say, wow, Deanna, you didn't, of course you would feel behind. Of course you would.
Naturally, you were.
Naturally, I was. I literally was like, okay, that makes sense. Like, that revelation freed me from expectations that I had of myself. Because it was like, oh, naturally, of course you would be behind, Deanna. And your mom did a great job with what she knew how to do to make sure that you don't, she did such a good job that you kind of neglected the fact that you're one generation removed from hardcore drug addiction. And I just have to say, I appreciate everything that we've been through together, the good and the bad. So
that's cool.
It's been healing for me and her. I feel like mainly me. It's been healing. It's been times I've been wanting to cry to my mom, but I don't. I'm not there yet. We ain't there yet. We're not there yet. But sometimes I just want to cry like a big ass baby. I just want to cry because I'm just like, girl, you don't know. I just really, if I could just cry and just hug me right now, that's all. I just need this.
Yeah.
We ain't there yet. We getting there though. One day it's gonna happen. But
the ism says it is.
it's gonna happen. I just think also I'm also ahead too at the same time. That disadvantage also prepared me to be more. Hell, I bought my first house at 20, so
You whooping ass.
like
Objectively,
yeah,
you're whooping a lot of ass considering.
Like that, and for a piece of information that it was just kind of like, even in the same sense, that was probably yeah, and you know, the dysfunction in family probably led to some other setbacks in other spaces, but overall, I mean, hey, what can I say? I've been winging it and then been doing a damn good job.
Cheers to that imaginary wine glass. So, I think you kind of already spoke to what I'm about to ask you about music, but I'm still going to ask. Maybe you have a different answer. What is something that is making your life easier, and how is it making it easier?
I actually do have a different answer for that. Not placing expectations on other people. This just was making my life easier. Just literally not having this extra astronomically high ass expectation. It's just kind of like giving people a chance to show me, okay, you're not gonna be able to do that, and that's okay. So unfortunately, I can't provide to you what you want from me, because I know that it will leave me empty, and you don't have any real intention on reciprocating. So unless I can see some reciprocation, then you know, I will place that amount of energy, whether it's friend, family, lover, I will place that amount of energy. But until then, just realizing, and I know people be like, sometimes you gotta meet people where they at. That makes me feel like I have to dumb myself down. That makes me feel like I have to make myself smaller and not shine as bright as I actually am. So I'm not gonna meet you nowhere. I'm not finna come back down. I'm not coming back down, bro. You have to bring your ass up.
Yo, man, I don't know why that's funny, but that's just, it's relatable. So like,
that's all. It's just, I don't.
Like, no, I don't have to meet you halfway. Like,
I did a lot of work, and I think you should do the same. And I understand if that's just not where you are, but if that's just not where you are, the people, it's cause it's crazy. It's like the people around me are there. I have friends. We have these eye-opening conversations. We have these. We're all doing this internal work. So
that's good.
If I can surround myself with these kind of people, what makes you think I want to go back to bring you where I'm at?
Yeah, you only you can only lead someone that's looking to be led. And like you can, you know, like I'm not finna meet you halfway and try to help you find a direction. I can tell you where to go, and if you're willing to walk there, then you know that's like a form of reciprocity. Like you're seeing my leadership and you're actively partaking in applying it. Yeah. So I think that's a good I guess philosophy to have, because compromising is not ever behoove of anybody that does it. Well, compromising means giving up.
It just depends. It just really depends.
So we'll go into something positive. I'm gonna say this again. I think you already spoke to this, but we'll see. What if your like answer changes or something? Um, what is your favorite part about being here? What makes you light up with joy?
What's my favorite part about being here? I don't know, that's free. I don't know. Life is just life, and it gets hard sometimes. Sometimes I'll be like, yo, take me out. Sorry, that's very dark humor.
No, it's funny. That's why I reacted the way that I do because it's just like I. That's not something I usually don't hear jokes like that, but I can identify with that. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Sometimes that's how it be, and it be hard sometimes. So
you don't have an answer. I think that is an answer.
I'm sorry, everybody. That was really cruel. I can imagine somebody being like, "Oh my God, she did not make that."
Just for cleansing here. There was a joke, okay?
Yes,
that was
it was a joke. It was a joke.
All right,
and that was the first song that came to my mind. But Franz Ferdinand, that was a hit. That was a hit.
All right, the air is clear. We're gonna switch topics here. We're talking about life, being alive. Can't talk about being alive without talking about death. So, what do you think death is, and do you think it has a purpose in relation to being alive? Do you think it like has some sort of contribution to the experience? Dying?
I don't know about that either. I'm super dramatic, so everything kind of feels like a dying and a rebirthing experience when stuff affects me deeply. It feels like a death and rebirth every single time. Like I truly do feel like I'm going through a rebirth right now. So I don't know. I don't know my relationship to death because I understand that it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and I don't already process death that well anyway. So I think I can't say, and I've had my own brush with death before, like a car. This is how I know I'm blessed, because I truly think that was going to be a very traumatic death. I truly think that car, what could have been a very terrible car accident, was going to be it. And you would think that somebody would be like, you should be grateful for life. Well, shit still get hard. It still get hard. It still gets.
It's not gonna make you say like it's not ass sometimes.
Yes, yeah. It's not gonna make me say.
That's what people want.
Yes.
You got saved and you should be.
Yeah, I got saved. You know what I'm saying? I knew God was real, because in that car, what could have been a terrible car accident, it was a black woman who came and put both hands on my car and started speaking in tongue. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. All I know is I braced myself for death that day, and I didn't, and that's when I knew. It seemed like maybe I almost did die, but that lady, that's when I knew. All right, Deanna,
something what.
Something bigger
than us going on here.
Yeah, it's a lot. So, I for sure definitely, I can't really explain my relationship to death because I already don't deal with it, but I know it will happen. And it's kind of one of those things that I have kind of chopped up to. I'll deal with it when I get there.
What do you think it'll be like once it comes? Do you have any vision of like, I think it's gonna be like this. I think it'll feel like this. I think I'm gonna see this.
No, I literally think all of it is something that I'll deal with when I get there. Because I don't know.
It's not meant to be known yet.
Yeah, sometimes the funny thing about depression is that depression can get you so down so bad that you can literally anything would be better like, than feeling this feeling. So I don't know what death would be like for me.
Right.
We'll see when I get there.
That's life, I think. I think that's a huge piece right there. That's the essence of everything. You gotta find out, and there are certain things that we haven't gotten to the point to find out yet, so they just remain unknown.
Yep.
And maybe that's why, like, so that we can find out.
Yeah,
basically.
It's literally a fuck around and find out situation. I don't know yet.
Science project. This whole thing is just like.
And I'm just here. And when I get there, we'll see. We'll see.
Just see, man. Let's see what it is. So, do you have any way that you would like to go? Or can you speak to that feeling of like, if I were to, I would want to be.
I used to think that it would be for natural causes, and this may get a little dark too. But I could also see me ending it myself. Just because that's just sometimes where my mind can go. And sometimes I wonder, like, okay, how many times do you think you'll be able to drag yourself out of disappointment that sends you into spirals of depression? How many times do you think you'll be able to do that?
Before it give out.
Before it just becomes like, look.
You run out of options.
Yeah.
It's so many. How many things do you think is there to try to overcome the same kind of feeling before you go? Look, try this option.
Yeah. So, that is to get dark, but that is just a real honest answer.
No, this is
on death. Is that
this is a real feeling.
It's honestly sometimes like if it's not natural for me, then it'll be. I could see myself doing it myself because it's like sometimes it could just get really just like I'm tired. I'm tired of all of this. I'm tired of people. I'm tired of money. I'm tired of this reoccurring everyday thing. I'm tired. I'm tired of just like the lack of common decency. I'm like especially tired of it, the expectancy to play a role in someone's life who can't give me a pot to piss in. Like, I'm tired of trying to
be a part.
Just be a part of it. Because what am I exactly getting out of this?
Feeling like the way that I am.
Yeah.
What's redeeming about continuing this when I feel the way that I do from being a part of this in the first place?
Yes.
That's deep. I feel that.
That may be extremely dark, but it is truly like.
It's not though. It's not, because I can speak to the same thing. It's just that's a real feeling. Like it's really that way. There's really that thought process about dealing with this shit.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you
for being honest with that.
Yeah, sharing that. A lot of people.
And this is not to say don't be out here talking about something I'm suicidal and shit. Like don't do that to viewers. Don't do that. But
yeah, remember earlier that was a joke.
That was totally a joke. Please, I feel like I have to reiterate that because it will get taken out of context.
Doubling down.
I have to double down because
this is a joke.
Taken out of context. But to attest
That's
to my
right.
real feelings, yes, sometimes the pure just like, hey man, I'm tired.
So would you say, instead of, I guess, being able to speak to, how do you want to go? Can you say that you do want to go sometimes?
Yeah.
Like you know that you want to go.
Sometimes.
I feel that.
It's like,
Me too. I feel that.
you know what? Look, listen. What are we doing? Where are we going?
That's a real feeling. So, how speaking of real feelings, how important are our feelings? Why do you think that, if you do think they are important, why do you think they're important? How important are our feelings to just all of this?
Your feelings are your first indicators that something is wrong. Or right.
I did an interview. I think she said the same thing when I interviewed Sunsaray. She was like, "It's like they're like messengers to let you know there's something." She did say that there's something needs to change. They let you know.
Mm-hmm. That's how important that something needs to happen differently, or something is right. So they're important. It's just our inability to allow ourselves to feel them. So
That kind of invalidates their significance to our experience. We make it seem like because we don't listen to them, they're not important. When in reality, it's the
well, my problem is that I know that I have the feelings, but I try to think my way out of it without actually feeling it. I'm like, logically, I get it, we're good, I'm done. And it's like, bring your ass back. We ain't really, you didn't feel it. And I'm like, but I get it though. I don't think I really have to feel it. And it's like, okay, we understand that. We understand that you get it, but did you really do the work?
It's like understanding the numbers of a business deal, but not paying attention to the knowing the numbers of a business deal, but not paying attention to the context and the principles of what's actually happening. So like, I think Dave Chappelle was talking about this, and he was like, yeah, I signed the contract, but is that right that they didn't pay me all the money that I made for them? You know what I mean? And that's kind of like, it sounds like what you're experiencing. Like, okay, I get it. Like, yeah, okay, I get the numbers logically. A plus B equals C, but everything else is telling you like, well, let's look past that. Or
no, you got the understanding, but that does not neglect, or it doesn't take away from the fact that there's a feeling attached to mistreatment or betrayal or disappointment or sadness or happiness. So
feelings are important, but we neglect them, and that is what creates issues.
Well, I tell you, I'm getting back to that girl that I once knew when I was a teen, which is me, myself, and I just started to tell people that hurt my feelings. That made me feel some type of way. Or this reaction, this whatever you finna choose to do is gonna make me react this way. So let me remove myself, because it's gonna be visceral.
You're going back to respecting your feelings more.
Yeah,
what you're getting at?
Going back to respecting my feelings and knowing, you know what, this shit finna have me acting a monkey fucking ass. So what I'm gonna do is just not even do it, because this is about to have me. I'm gonna blow shit up. So I'm not even gonna. I ain't even gonna do it.
Yeah. Okay. So change the kind of no, actually no. This is connected to feelings, as far as sensory feelings, experiences. Which one of your senses do you think is your favorite, or is like your most important or appreciated sense? What is your most appreciated sense that you have?
The feeling of desire. Because that is a very just, it's a very exhilarating feeling. That is, that feeling of desire and passion is a very exhilarating feeling. And I think I replaced that, I won't say I replaced it, but it's been a while since I felt that desire. And now that it's kind of back, it's like I feel like I can do anything. So that sexual nature that people try to put a lid on, I say don't put a lid on that, because you never know what you can discover. You know, that's why you want to master the flesh, because sometimes it's not a feeling you want to act on with another person. One of the things I learned with my last therapist, well, my first therapist, was she told me to masturbate more. And I have been doing just that when it strikes me. And when I say be a master of your flesh, is one thing I learned in men, it could be women too, but mainly in men, is that sex is a defense mechanism. You don't know how to produce dopamine in other ways than outside having sex. So a lot of men are like dopamine overload. They think every time something's wrong, it can be fixed with sex. It's not always the case. Sex is just a band-aid for the bigger problem.
Or you neglect the actual work that needs to be done to correct or to master the flesh.
Sometimes sometimes truly it is not okay to act on those feelings of desire and passion, especially if you can't look at yourself and say, well, am I using this feeling to, remove myself from something else? It can be conducive. You can find a way to use those feelings of desire to be conducive. But it just depends on how you do it. And sometimes sex is not all sex with another person, or sex without intent. And I don't mean you gotta love somebody, but just being present, really. When you're mindlessly doing it, of course, you can't fully enjoy those feelings of desire and passion and that raw feeling, because you're not being present. It's an escape for something. So when I take it back to masturbation, it taught me to be present. So I think the dangerous part about that is inviting somebody else into that. They may take it as, oh, she really feeling this. And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, because I enjoy it, but I'm also present. I'm here in this moment. And I don't think a lot of people can say that they've experienced that kind of feeling.
That's real. It's a good point. A good way to look at it, as it gets demonized sometimes.
It is, all the time, actually. It's like drugs. It's like hallucinogens, or your acids and stuff. And that's why a lot of people say, if you're gonna do acid, have a plan, because it's not to keep you running from the problem. It's going to present the problem right there. It is going to unlock these various spaces in your brain that you don't want to really pay attention to.
Yeah, because you've been neglected. That goes back, I think that ties back into what you were saying about our feelings and then neglecting our feelings. Mm-hmm. I've heard that psychedelics will do that as far as, you know, you're gonna feel all of that stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna feel it all. It's gonna bring everything to the forefront.
Mm.
And that's why I feel like
Yeah, I've heard
that feeling of desire and passion is a feeling that can be used to be transmuted into other things. That's why people like use that energy for something creative. Definitely, because it is creative. It's not all the time something you should share with another person. It is truly something you should share with yourself. But the issue is, are you using yourself as dopamine, or is this really going to be a present moment with you, with yourself?
So, my next question, do you believe we have a sixth sense?
Yeah. I think I spoke on this earlier. Like, I don't believe that intuition is solely a woman's power. I think it's a human thing.
You think intuition is the sixth sense, like just having a kind of vision or feel for a situation?
Yeah. It's just all about, are you present with yourself?
Can you
Like
feel it?
Even right now, there's this feeling of energy that I have. It's just like shooting through, this side of my body, and like shooting through this side of my body, and I can just kind of tell. I'm absorbing all the information around me, and from there I can make a cognizant decision on what, or like prediction of what I think gonna happen next.
Right.
Like, so I think everybody has it. It's just most people be like, oh, you overthinking things. It's like, no, I don't think so. You're not thinking enough about this. You are neglecting the information that is being given to you.
I very much thought about it. Maybe you should too, and you might see this situation the same way that I'm seeing it.
Right.
That's heavy. Changing gears here. Do you know, are you able to tell when someone is lying? Like, when someone is lying to you, can you tell?
I think most people can, but we ignore it because of the expectation we already have with the person. We don't want to think of them in a bad light.
We ignore red flags.
That's all I have to say on that.
Okay.
It's just, we be knowing. We be knowing. Everybody knows.
So if you don't want to become a victim of a lie, listen to yourself, basically. Just, even if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Still listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you know. Niggas know.
Cool. So, switching gears to, I guess more of the unseen part of life. Have you had any significant supernatural experiences that you don't mind sharing?
I don't know, to be honest. Sometimes I think it's just my paranoia. I watch too much. I like horror movies.
Yeah.
So I could really just be imagining things. I ain't gonna tell them. But
I get overthinking, deluding yourself.
yeah. I mean, that's one of the things I can't say. Like, if it is something, I don't know if I'm supposed to know. It's one of those things that I don't like to think about because then I'm gonna spook myself out. So it's just like, I don't know if I'm supposed to know.
Okay. So we're going to a philosophical shift here. Speaking of like humanity, what is something you think that everyone should stop doing? Like, everyone in the world should stop doing this. What would you say?
Stop idolizing a love yourself. It sounds good when you droning on somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't love yourself, bitch. But like, it sounds like a dirty ass joke. But
that's really good to stop doing, is idolizing people and replace that.
Yeah,
loving yourself.
You have to, because you just do a lot for people. Don't realize it, and I know people be like, it's just a preference. I'm like, a preference. Understand that preference is probably rooted in some form of validation. Understand that, and once you understand that, once you stop lying to yourself, then it's like, I'm gonna still make this decision because it's really truly what I want. Because you may decide this ain't truly what I want. This was just something that I thought would get me the validation that I craved, and now I'm still not getting it.
Wow.
So, but also remember, you're not ugly. You're just broke.
That's really true. Like, that's so true. Yeah, it's like when you get money, the blood starts to like return, like
to your face. You're not stressed, and you want to
the
get
bags removed from your eyes.
A new jawline reconstructed. You could.
Yeah,
like, it's just
your posture changes
everything.
when you have money.
So,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
So everyone should stop idolizing people and should start
loving
themselves. It's deep. So that was actually my next question. What do you think everyone should start doing? You said, so you answered both. Yes. Stop idolizing people and start loving yourself. That's deep. Okay, two birds, one stone here. Okay, so what is something that you've done that you're glad that you did it?
I'm glad that I did it?
Yeah, like you're proud of yourself for doing this.
It took me some time, but buying a house. Like, that is a very big accomplishment that I never really said, this was an accomplishment.
Good job.
Yeah, you're doing a good job. And I always saw it as, why did I do this? Yeah. Oh my God. But really?
It's 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a place that I can come home to that is mine. The grass is mine. The whole damn plot of land is mine.
Yeah, that's 5.
And I can do whatever I want to do with it.
That's something you should feel like proud of.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing to give yourself credit for. Like,
and it's
give the credit to yourself for doing this.
Yes, because it's crazy. Like, I'm like, I really enjoy.
No, most people are not gonna, let it be known that this is an accomplishment of yours. No. Something to be proud of. You gotta do it yourself, which is kind of funny, but it's also kind of sad. But it's like, and it's also kind of sad.
I can do whatever I want here. Whatever. I didn't realize how much freedom I had until literally like last week, maybe a month ago. I didn't realize how liberating. I was like, girl, do you know?
Like, yeah.
You can do whatever
within in these mini walls.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 4, but it's like a hallway.
It's small. It ain't much, but it's like literally.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's something glad you did buy a house. I would be glad too if I bought a house. I'm going to be glad when I do. Flip side of the question, what is something that you haven't done that you're glad that you haven't done this?
everything that I haven't done, I want to do. I can't say that I'm glad because I'm like, look, man, even though it might sound like a bad idea right now, live a little. I'll deal with it when I get there. And that is probably why people think Libras are a little chaotic, because I damn should be like, I know I'm supposed to be like that person of justice and fairness and everything, but honestly, it's okay to be bad sometimes.
It is.
And my aunt taught me that. Well, she used to tell me that when I was growing up. She's like 80 something.
Be a villain.
And she's like, it's okay to be bad
Be
sometimes.
mean
Sometimes you just wanna
Yeah.
be bad a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie. I needed to hear it. I kind of have fantasies of being like a bad, not bad, like a villain, like a mean person sometimes. And I just don't. And I think that's why I have the feeling that I do.
Because
like,
sometimes
I might need to like step on a few toes,
Yes.
just to get back balance.
yes,
basically.
sometimes you need the balance. Sometimes you just gotta be like, this is gonna be shitty as hell, but you know what?
For the sake of the factory reset,
Yes.
I'm gonna do this.
For the sake of my factory reset, I'm gonna enjoy whatever petty shitty thing I'm about to do.
Make it worth it.
Yes. And I'm not saying I'm like out here being a detriment that I know I could be with.
Active chaos, actively intended.
It's very good chaotic. It's good chaotic. Like, yeah, it's a good chaotic.
I feel that. So we're heading to the end of this. This has been great. Got a couple more questions just to lighten it up a little bit, I guess, like to share some cooler introspective kind of things. What is your, once again, I think you already answered this, what is your favorite form of art or expression? What is your favorite form of art or expression?
Yeah, I like music, and then I used to sew, so I'm gonna start back doing that, and then
Wow.
who knows what else? I might pick up an instrument, which I'm trying to do. I just gotta get disciplined, and it's coming. I feel it. It's just,
it's in the works. It just you're not there yet, but
when I get there,
strange things are happening, and that's one of those things that is coming.
The world is doing very strange things, but it's giving me a little bit of update. But I'm also just like,
ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get this show on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about that time, right? I feel that. So, once all of this is over, do you see yourself having the desire? Would you want to do this again?
What?
Come back around to this plane of existence and do this again?
Depends. Right now, I can say something's happening, and I'm excited to see what is gonna happen next. I feel like I've planted my feet firmly into something with myself, and it's firm. I can feel it. I feel very grounded, and it's great to feel grounded. And the only thing is, I don't know how I got here. Like, I don't know what triggered this groundedness, but it just did.
Yeah.
And
that's like,
maybe because I've been writing in a journal every day when I feel like it, and it's just been a thing for me to just be able to look back and say, oh, okay, this is how you felt, and talking it out, talking it through.
I will say maybe. You said it depends. You may want to. I'll give this a spin. It wasn't that bad. It was bad for a long time, but in retrospect, I wouldn't be against giving it another go.
Make me a woman again in my next life, please. It's another thing. I enjoy and absolutely love being a woman. That's all I have to say about that. I truly do enjoy it. I wouldn't want to be, especially a black woman, I wouldn't want to be anything else. So it's like,
I feel that.
At the end of the day, despite everything that does make me sad, I'm very blessed to be black. And What I mean that, like, I'm very blessed to be black and me, like myself. Like,
That's cool.
all differences aside.
That's cool.
It's real. It's a very liberating feeling to say, I'm black and I'm me.
You love yourself.
Yeah. I really do love myself.
That's what it's about.
Like, I could really just be like, girl, I give myself a hug right now. It's so nice.
Wow. That's what it's about. Being a fan of yourself, like, that's a good thing to be. Like, just root yourself on.
Yeah.
What, back to everyone, what would you say if everyone was listening? If everyone could hear you, what would you say?
I don't talk.
To have an impact on the world, or destroy it, or
I kind of mind my business.
whatever you.
So I don't know. I don't even know what I would say. I don't
You don't even know.
How could I send the world into eternal chaos? I don't know.
I think it would be smart to not say anything.
Yeah, I'd just be quiet because
Just let it
personally,
be.
people are gonna do what they want.
Yeah, they'll get around to whatever they need.
The idea of me loving myself has just been me not overextending myself for people that I feel like aren't gonna listen anyway. So it's just like, and also respecting other people by not blabbering to them so much about a situation that I'm not gonna change.
Saving yourself the back end.
Yes.
Not, I guess, embarrassment of like, why did I even say all that? Yeah, I'm still in square one.
Yeah.
And I didn't said all this stuff about square 2 or 3.
Yeah. So it's definitely for sure one of those like situations where I'm just like.
So you say you wouldn't say anything, just let them rock.
Yeah, just let everybody rock, man.
All right. Well, maybe if a smile, like if everybody can hear you or see you, just smile. Don't say anything, just
nod and wave, boys. That would be it. I don't know. I'm
Kowalski reference.
I am legitimately advocate of I mind my motherfucking business. I'm gonna help if I feel like I need to, but for the most part, I've also learned.
Hey, that's a good thing
I
to say though.
things one time, once. I say it once, and
leave it alone.
Yeah.
I feel that.
If I really love you, maybe 2 or 3 times. But after that, I'm like, let me shut up. This is where I be quiet.
Right. Because then that would, to go into what you said, that would be overextending yourself at that point. Like, I'm keep trying to read whatever and force this. It's like, I'm not going to put out that much more energy into other people like that no more. It's staying here.
Yep.
I think when you said that, it was funny because, like, I had an image of, like, maybe that would be the best thing to say if everyone could hear you, is to mind your business. Like, a huge, like, freaking speakerphone, like, over the planet. And, like hey, what do you have to say? Mind your fucking business. And then everyone would, like, be scared. Cause like, where is this voice coming from?
Hell yeah. So that's be it. Mind your motherfucking business, man. Mind your business, bitch.
Okay, so wrapping up here, I appreciate you. Thank you for allowing me to document this. It's been like a couple of cycles of trial and error scheduling. We got it done. We're coming around to the end, so this is a great thing. And thank you while you're here. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, last question. What makes you like laugh? Like, if you could describe.
I'm childish, so you've seen my Instagram stories sometimes.
Yeah.
I know some people would probably be like, this bitch. But I'm like, I'm childish.
Fringe humor.
Yeah, like, I'm very childish. So if you talking to somebody and be like, they say something and you be like, these nuts, I'ma laugh. These nuts, any of that, I'ma laugh.
It's funny every time.
It's funny every time. Especially depending on context. It's funny every fucking time.
The more inappropriate the context,
Yes.
I think, the funnier it becomes.
Yes.
Because it's like, you're not supposed to say that.
I'm a fan of cruel sense of humor. Clearly, everyone, it was a joke.
It was a joke. Yes. We do not advocate whatever it is you're saying that we are. I'm saying that we're not. So do with that information what you will.
It was a joke. And it was a
Just a joke.
It was a very fitting joke. So yeah. And I like, if you're just genuinely funny, I think my mom, I like music and I like comedy. I like to laugh. You can make me laugh. It's over, man. It's probably the key to my heart sometimes. And you have to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
When I say funny, you have to be funny.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about no...
Why your headline fucked up?
Yeah, I ain't talking about none of that. I'm talking about funny.
Funny contributions.
Yes. I mean, like, whether it's inappropriate... I mean, you have to be funny. Gotta be funny.
That's the key.
I think Michael Shea is funny.
Do you watch that damn Michael Shea?
I need to.
It's on HBO Max. It's funny as shit.
Yes.
He's really good.
I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's insightful too. Like, he's smart.
Yes.
Smart as shit. But yeah, you would like that show.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
So that's it for today. Yeah, it goes without saying, Deanna, thank you.
You're welcome.
This has been awesome.
Glad we got this on the road.
My audience, I hope you all can leave better than
that it was
how you
a fucking
came.
joke. I'm kidding.
It was a joke. Peace. Message to your future self. What would you say?
What would I say?
Or what are you going to say, I should say? What are you going to say to your future self?
I don't know, future self. We've worked very, very hard to make sure that we had a foundation for you to thrive 10 years from now. Like, really hard. Like, girl. It was a real round of applause. So, coming from your, like, young adult self, like, you know, you've always known, and stop doubting what you already know.
That's good. That's it?
That's it.
That's real good.